Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Um, so let's start this like this. Shout out to the brother NT Desaline, right? Fellow Haitian brother. Um, his channel is interesting. We're gonna be covering one of his divester videos, but he's had a few actually. But we're gonna be covering really just one where the brother covers the young lady that I covered a couple weeks ago. Um, and her speaking about the white guys, I guess, that engage in this kind of play with these divestors and swirlers. Um, First, let's say this. The brother goes in depth by reading some of the comments as a response, and that was what was very interesting. See, I don't have a TikTok, so I didn't get to see the comments. The brother went and read through the comments, which further puts into context when Chrissy, yes, your colorist queen herself, when she covered the video and when she said, these people want to be essentially civil rights leaders or civil right um be pro black and social justice warriors, and while dating white guys, right? Now we understand why she said that. My coverage of this today is mainly to speak about those women in the comments under that video. So for those of you that don't know what Mr. Z is covering, check out the link in the description box. Um, Especially when the brother goes in NT Desaline. We're just gonna call him Desaline. Great name by the way. Um, as Desaline goes through the comments of the women speaking about their their interactions with white guys, right? Dating white guys, having children for white guys. This is why confirmation is important. The confirmation for us, for black men, namely black men in the black manosphere, that what we thought and what we said is going on is going on. The reason why that's important, right? The reason why that's important is because we needed to see it, even though we know some of us are family members and associates to these people. We're relatives, we're family members, and we're associates of these divestors. Some of us already know. Some of us are co-workers and friends and associate. Well, maybe not even friends, but co-workers with some of these wayward white men that have had sex with some of these black women. So that's why it's important, right? Let me see. What are you guys saying? Yeah, Brickgate. What is going on with everybody with the brick thing? Okay, let's see what Demetrius have to say before we get back to pause on the topic. Let's see. And Demetrius says, Z, are you going to talk about the lady who I think you meant to got hit in the face with a brick after she rejected dude? Oh yeah, I saw the clip. Rejected a dude, and it came out she was a man hater. Oh, I saw the clip. I did not put the volume up. Wow. Okay, so well, I guess we have something to cover tomorrow morning, or maybe later on tonight. Well, we might have something to cover later on tonight or tomorrow morning. Let's see. Right. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. So I will go back right to that clip. So yeah, I gotta go find where I saw it. But I know I see the clip. I saw the side of her face that was swollen. I just didn't put the volume up. Right. So there we go. So yeah. So we'll see. Okay. We have something to talk about again. Right. Thank y'all for keeping Mr. Z informed. Thank you very much. Right. Now back to the topic at hand. The brother Desaline reading through the comments, and woman after woman is saying, yeah, they dated one of these guys. Yeah, they unfortunately, I didn't know, right? I had to go through a couple of these guys. I had to date a couple of these guys. So it is what we thought it was. You ladies are chasing after the white guys. The white guys see an easy lay. They're having sex with you. Not once, not twice, but thrice. 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Multiple white men. These are the women that are in the comments oftentimes telling black men how horrible we are, how sexist we are, how patriarchal we are, how colorist we are, how featureless and texturous we are. They mock us for our quote unquote preferences, right? Meanwhile, White Zaddy has the Confederate flag up on his living room wall while he's bending her over. She's looking at the Confederate flag while taking back shots. But black men are colorist, right? We have a woman with an entire channel. Now she's trying to change it up and make it more lifestyle and hypergamy content. An entire channel dedicated to colorism. All right, cool, right? Let's be very clear. Don't forget how many black men were with her with that project when she made it seem like it was just all about colorism. Fine, black men will ride with you on that, right? Some of us got that uncle that said some wayward stuff, or a cousin that said something, or maybe even a brother. So okay, fine. But when it starts to be black men ain't-ish, open up your options, and then the white male worship, well, now we see what it looks like, right? This is the part of the game they don't like talking about, right? This is the part of the game they don't like speaking about. The fact that y'all are going out here dating, quote unquote, dating these guys, and, well, having those type of experiences, having their children, sometimes being married to them, and running into the buzzsaw of the fact that this guy is racist. And y'all know Mr. Z's quote: "The internet will expose us all." Dot dot dot. In actuality, we will expose ourselves on the internet. And it wasn't just one. Dessalines went over one after another, after another comment from black women saying, "Yeah, I dated a couple of these kind of guys. Oh, my baby daddy is this type of guy. My ex-husband is this type of guy." What did y'all think? Y'all forgot what country y'all live in? Whether it's ADOS woman or not ADOS black woman. Y'all forgot what country y'all live in? Oh, you thought your anger and resentment at black men meant that the white men who also despise black men, y'all kindred spirits, and y'all gonna, form Voltron. You don't mess with black men, he don't mess with black men, so y'all gonna have a great relationship, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend type thought process. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? See, and when you may meet your unfortunate end at the hands of these guys, then you have the Chrissies, right? And the Yannies and the Paris and the Cynthia G's and the Lexus Exodus who make it say, oh, y'all are using this to try to scare us. You should be afraid. You should be apprehensive. You should be skeptical. Not for black men's sake. You don't care about black men. Or do you when you're just using white men to thumb black men in the eye? Either way, for your own safety and sake. The fact that Chris has to, well, the second I even smell or I even hear something, I'm gone. Yeah, you wouldn't have to deal with that if you weren't such an a-hole and you would have had a black man. You wouldn't have to worry about the racist white man sitting across the table from you if you weren't such an a-hole and you had a black man. You know you've been dating outside of your race for how long now? Like 20 years? How's that working for you? Yikes. You know, it's interesting. So these are the very overt anti-black situations these black women are running into. But if we add on the guy that didn't call you the N-word, or the guy that just ghosted you because he got what he wanted from you, the white guy that ghosted you because he just wanted to have that experience with one black woman in his life so he could check you off a bucket list, but he's racist also. If we count those guys, how many white guys are y'all dating that's anti-black? And when we say dating, oh boy, quote unquote dating, this is further confirmation of what black men were saying. And it matters. It matters in the overall conversation of why black male female relationships aren't looking too good. Because we have a segment of the black female population that would, and like the young lady said a couple weeks ago, I would rather date a racist white man for 4 months than be single for 6 years. Her words. The internet will expose us all. So you have that young lady saying that, and then you have all the women in the comments for the video of the young lady talking about the white racist guys. And the women in the comments just say, yeah, my ex-boyfriend, my ex-husband, oh, this is me, oh, this was me. And the handful of them that want to come back to the black community, we're supposed to marry them. Ain't that right, Dr. Umar Johnson? When they spend a decade and a half out there hopping from one white penis to another white penis, then black men are supposed to turn around and marry these women, right? Dessalines also covers another video, and this is the one I can't remember who sent me this. It might have been you, Detroit. I can't remember who put this in my comments. Only confirming once again, all we're just getting confirmation left and right here. Who this young lady who's married, and this goes back to what we're saying, married to a black man, or at least in a relationship with a black man, black child, right? So this is a black family we have going on. You go through her comments on social media, you go far back enough, and there's a whole lot of white male worship. Uh-oh. A whole lot of white male worship, right? And unlike Terry Nichols, it doesn't look like she evolved in her, and rest in peace to the brother. It doesn't sound like she evolved, or at least look like she evolved and, had a change of heart and a change of mind. No, nope, nope, nope. It's this white male worship thing don't look like it's gonna work out. So I guess, right? It's important for the thought leaders, the movers and shakers, right, in the black community to admit your daughters have a problem. Dr. Umar Johnson, your daughter, it's not the white men worshiping at the altar of white women, right? It's not your sons worshiping at the altar of white women. Your daughters, on the other hand, are openly saying it, right? Where are all the black men who say yeah, I'm dating racist white women? Chrissy, we're the ones with the inferiority complex, right? We're the colorists, right? We're the colorists. That's why we're the ones outright saying we're open. Yeah, yeah, yep, I'm dating racist white women, right? I thought we were the sex fiends, right? Meanwhile, these women are getting bent over by not even reformed Confederates, by neo Confederates, by skinheads, by alt right white men. And when they finally come to the realization that, okay, these white men, this is all I am to them, this is my lot in life when it comes to white. That's when they're supposed to what? Come back to the black community, and a black man is supposed to put a ring on her finger and say, there. You were just experimenting. You were, young and naive, you know. No, you stay over there, player. You stay over there. That's why we continue to bring up the fact that, and excuse me, we continue to bring up the fact that only 4% of marriageable age black women are married outside of their race. Are we saying only 4% of marriageable age black women, only 4% have had sex with white men? Have been in quote unquote relationships with white men? We know it ain't relationships. Stop it. As I said to the young lady who said, well, I would rather be in a relationship with a racist white man for 4 months than be single. If it's only 4 months, it wasn't a relationship. You could tell yourself that to make yourself feel better about what that was to him. Shout out to all the black women who think black men speak crass. Okay. Young lady, if I go find that white man and ask him what y'all were doing, he would not say it was a relationship. He won't call that a relationship. Right? The reason why the confirmation is important is because now we can start having a more honest conversation. That's the important part. The reason why these divestment fails are important is now we can have a more honest conversation. Forget all this talk about, oh, y'all trying to scare us, the scare tactics. No, we don't have to. No need. Black men don't have to do that. Black women are going to do what they want to do regardless. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm with Dessalines. The second one of these ladies, oh yeah, I've dated white skirt. Y'all know Mr. Z don't often give advice. As a matter of fact, I attempt to refrain from actually giving advice on my channel. I come in with information. Yes, my opinions, yeah, but information. But the advice part, too many variables in life, right? But on this one, yeah. Now, are all black women who have dated or been married to a white guy, are they all drooling at the mouth, frothing at the mouth, divestors? No. Am I advising black men to risk it to see which one isn't? Right? These days are in the comments, one other after the other after the other, straight up admitting they've quote unquote dated these type of men, been in a relationship with these type of men, have had children with these type of men. You imagine your black little girl, your black little boy is in class with a little mixed sister, a little mixed brother that has a racist white father. And let's be very clear, more than, I don't believe these women saying, oh, I didn't know. So 99% anti-black male hating black mother and a racist white father. And your little girl or your little boy is sitting in class next to that child, right? Next to that child. And what's also important, as I said before, as these people, because it's the they're gonna get married. The ones that are super adamant, they will get married. They will. Super adamant about I need to have a white man. They'll hold out hope no matter what. For many of them, they will. And when that racist white dude eventually says something or does something to a black man or a black woman, he's going to hide behind that black wife. And the white media will be more than glad to say, oh, he can't be racist. His wife is black. Meanwhile, his wife is Candace Owens, right? Meanwhile, his wife is what, Kim Klacik, right? Meanwhile, his girlfriend is DJ Diplo, right? The one in Carolina, whatever his name was, Pope, DJ Pope. Meanwhile, that's his girlfriend. I mean, that's her boyfriend, DJ Pope, right? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Irene Yvette is the one that she had a baby daddy by a white man when their relationship don't work out, and she went back to black men to be step simp. Also, she's a YouTuber. Wow, she's a YouTuber. Wow. Look, you okay? You imagine, and that's why we have to look at these brothers like, wow. you're in a relationship with black women that rail against black men all day, whether they attempt to intellectualize it or not, especially, right, the card carrying divester, she just so happens to be in a situation with a black man as of right now, whether that situation be marriage, just having sex, situationship, quote unquote relationship. Black men, are you sure you're not the one with the inferiority complex? Dating and marrying a woman who railed against black men, had a child from a racist white dude, and now you're with her? Alrighty then. Hopefully it's because you need a place to stay. Right? Wow. Uh-oh. Cheryl mentioned Doja Cat. Yeah, Detroit. I don't know her story as much, but yeah. Yeah. Toya say, oh, let's not start about DJ Diplo. Right. I was kind of late to that story. I was kind of late to that story, but still. Right. That's why it matters. It matters so that black men can know for some black women, you are their second choice. For some. This one I won't say all. It's debatable whether it's most. But for some, yeah. Just because they have a black husband, black boyfriend, what that mean? What does that mean? And then, we have women projecting, black women projecting that black men are the ones chasing after white women, right? Becky with the good hair, right? That's that's the theme in the black community. And yet we have woman after woman after woman after woman. Not just forget, let's be very clear. Not just dating a white man. Okay, cool, relationship, marriage, whatever. No, a racist white man. Let's be very clear. This is not about just ending up with a white guy. This is about having sex, having children for a racist white man in America, with America history. What does that mean for future generations? That we have mixed children who are going to be considered black that have racist white fathers, and someone like Chrissy as a mother, someone like Lexus Exodus as a mother, right? And we're not even speaking about all the other anti-black males there are out there, whether they're Asian or Latino or whoever. Mixed children with someone like Cynthia G as a mother, right? And shout out to Sarge. I checked out I'm about halfway done with his video speaking about the Dr. T video speaking about the septum ring theory. And yes, for the status, Sarge. And yes, Sarge, it's not all in your head. We all see it now. For the status. It's good that we're getting to the place where black women are being a bit more honest. And it took us putting their back to the wall, rhetorically, right? And now they're being a bit more honest. It's not about bum black men. That whole Pookie conversation was BS. It's about not having the status of white women. To the point where we have black women who are knowingly and willingly stop the crap, knowingly and willingly dating, quote unquote, dating racist white men. The young lady on the video said, I would rather date a racist white man for 4 months. That's knowingly. Now you could cop please after the fact, after it doesn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out. Right? After it doesn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out, or the way you hoped it was going to turn out. You knew how it was going to turn out. You knew how it was going to turn out. So on the other side of that equal side, misandrous black woman plus racist white man equals, on the other side of that equal sign, when it doesn't work out and now you're copping please like you didn't know, because you were chasing after the white woman's lifestyle, and it's not even all, we have to stress this, it's not even all white women. Wait a minute, Z, it's not even most white women. These particular type of black women are chasing after upper middle class white women, rich and elite white women's lifestyle, to the point they are willing to engage with white racist men, hoping and praying against all hope that he doesn't make them feel guilty for being with him, that he could just turn down his anti-blackness enough when she's in the presence of her family or her friends or her associates. And that's if she could even get the relationship. Right? That he could turn down the anti-blackness just enough when they're in the presence of someone who's not in their household or someone who enters their household. Just turn down the babe, my cousin's coming over. Could you turn down the anti-blackness for a couple hours while they're here? They should be here for maybe I think they'll be here for like 3 hours. Turn down the anti-blackness for about 3 hours. Right? She's coming with her son. Turn down the anti-blackness for about 3 hours. Don't sneer at him turn it down for about 3 hours. Right? Now we can have a more honest conversation. Not that they're exposing themselves. The internet will expose us all. Not that they're exposing themselves. Now we can have a more honest conversation. Eventually, more and more of them are going to say, more and more of these type of ladies are going to say what the other young lady said. Yeah, I would rather be with the right racist dude. But they'll be more honest and say, not about, oh, I'd rather be with the white racist dude for 4 months than be single for 6 years. No. I'll risk being with the white racist, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 800 years, 900 years, 1000 years, 2000 years, 3000 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 years, 700 years, 800 years, 900 years, 1000 years, 2000 years, 3000 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, 400 years, 500 years, 600 ye if it means I could 0.0001% chance of having this lifestyle I see on TV. I'll risk it. And really, that's what it is. That's why I used to gotta bring that back. Lottery dreams. Mr. Z gotta bring that back. I'll bring that back to my in my lexicon. Lottery dreams. And the confirmation matters for black men, particularly black men in the black manosphere. Now we can have a more honest conversation that is not about dusty black men. It's not about pookies. It's about the white woman's lifestyle and black women chasing after it and what they're willing to go through to attempt to achieve it. They're willing to shuffle through white racist men, anti-black white men. And let's be very clear, they're even willing to eat the white racist man as long as she could get what she wants out the deal. Just don't turn up the anti-blackness so much that it makes it uncomfortable for me. I'm here for the mixed child and the lifestyle. The lifestyle and the mixed child. There you go. We rhyming. The white picket fence and the bins. And as long as you could keep the N word with the hard ER, as long as you could turn that down a bit, I'll be here. Right. And we can engage in slave play. And RO says, and thank you for the super chat, outside of strictly money, the white woman knows she is leveling up with black men, while the black woman, slow and dumb, has been leveling down for centuries with Zaddy. Right? Yeah. Every once in a while, you know, one of these women, the Eves of the world or the Candace Owens of the world, would end up with those type of situations, and they will be put up as like the example. Right? They will be put up as the example. Never mind Tika Sumter, who's the famous one, and the one with the money, right? Never mind Lonnie Love, same situation, right? Aisha Taylor, well, when she was married, same situation. Never mind all of those examples. Never mind that. Oh, thank you, Michael Ross. Chili. It doesn't. What doesn't matter is whether black women date white men. What does matter is black women insulting, belittling, demeaning black men, challenging black men's masculinity and manhood, right? While actively chasing after white men and willing to go through crap with racist white men, so much so that they defecate on the image of black men. That's what matters. Black women attempting to appeal to white men by defecating on the image of black men. Now, whether they attempt to intellectualize it, whether they just come up the middle with the vernacular and the language, right? Either way, the defecating on black men to attempt to appeal to these white men who, now that we see more and more, the reason why you're defecating on black men, especially with this fervor and this energy, is because you know you're appealing not to just a white man, but to a racist white man. Now, to answer our question that many of us collectively have been asking is, what type of white man wants to end up with a black woman that talks about black men all day? The racist ones. The racist ones. If you want to know why, this is why Crystal and Kara's husband can't tell me he's not racist. I don't care how many kids he had with her. This is what your wife is doing all day? Yes, they're divorced, but this is what your wife is doing all day? She built a career off of this swirler divester talk. Swirler talk evolved into divester talk, but swirler divester talk, she's recording in the other room talking crap about black men. Black men are just big D and swag. And you're going to tell me you're not racist when that's your black wife? Yeah, get out of here. Candace Owens' husband and his whole family. Well, we already know what how his family moves. Her husband, father is what, a Lords of London. Yeah, we already know how you move, and that's your daughter-in-law. That's your wife. Yeah, racist. All right. Lexus Exodus says she's married. I don't think it's a white man, but either way, Lexus Exodus is your wife. Racist. Right. Dear white men, oh yeah, we're gonna start charging you and taxing you for that. If these are your wives and girlfriends, you claiming them, and they sound like this, oh yeah, you racist. There's no way. And well, here we go. When they break up with you, they admit to us that you were racist. How many times the documents coming out of these divorce proceedings telling us, oh yeah, he calls me the N word more than he's been calling me the N word for 10 years. You've been married to a white racist man for 10 years. You got 2, 3 kids from the white racist man. Your family didn't even know, huh? They guessed it, but they didn't know. Now y'all getting divorced. Now it's, oh, he called me the N word and he called me the N word. What Halle Berry said? It's hard paying what, alimony or child support to a man that called me the N word. Well, Halle, if you weren't such an asshole, you would have been married to a black man again. And yeah, y'all might had to have gone through it. And okay, fine, maybe you would have still had to pay alimony or child support, but you wouldn't have to be paying alimony and child support to a man that calls you the N word. How about them apples, black women like this? Imagine living. These are the people that turn around and tell black men, "Oh, y'all marry those white women, and then y'all die, and then they get all the life insurance money, or they get this money, or the money goes back into their community." These white men are unaliving you, taking your life insurance money, and then starting a business with it. Allegedly, allegedly. At least the white woman waited till we die to flip the money. At least she divorces us and take the money. Y'all get into an argument, they unalive you. The cops don't even care. Seems like a very fine man. And Chrissy would hear Mr. Z saying this, but oh, that's just a scare tactic. Is it? It's a great thing that these people are telling us that, quite frankly, it ain't really even that you dusty. You just not a white man. You're not rich and you're not white. That's their problem with you. This is why divestment, rhetoric, and the confirmation of what they're doing in these quote unquote situations with white men is important. Don't worry, eventually they're going to start admitting all the type of weirdo sex play, jumping off the ceilings thing they're engaging in with the white men to keep them there. That, in my estimation, is next up. And now that we've moved this conversation along to them admitting that they're dating the racist white man, and a couple of them actually admitting that they're knowingly dating the racist white man, the next step is speaking about all the craziness they're doing to maintain that relationship. In my estimation, what's next up is jumping off the ceiling fan sexually to keep him. Okay, fine. Paying to keep him. All this hypergamy talk, Chrissy, your subscribers, they're younger than you. They don't have the discipline yet. They're gonna come out the mouth with all type of craziness. They're gonna admit that they paying to keep the white man there. Don't worry, TikTok. Y'all heard it here first. Because we already know that what Mr. Z is saying is the confirmation is coming. They're gonna say it. Right? Gen Z is gonna say it, and as Generation Alpha ages into the game, those little girls that are gonna be women, they're gonna start saying it too. Watch. And I want to be very clear. The only reason Mr. Z cares about this, the only reason that I'm saying I think the rest of us care about this is not because of these women dating out. No one cares. It's the defecating on the image of black men as an appeal to racist white men. Let's be very clear why this matters. What they're doing sexually doesn't matter. But if it affects the way she thinks because they're engaging in slave play, right? And enough of that type of action now affects her job where she works with black men. And now she's looking at black men, like the young lady said, oh, y'all are slaves. Right? That's when it matters. Right? And thanks for the super chat, Big Kev. And Big Kev says, don't worry, black men being Captain Save-ums will save us. Exactly, right? Shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. Exactly. Put it on the cape to save women that don't want to be saved. Right? Somehow that's going to save the black community. Shout out to JT Money. Shout out to J. Cole. Put it on the cape for black women who don't even want to be saved is going to save the black community. Yeah, that's it. So we covered this for that reason. I'm going to end out in a little bit, but we cover this for that. Not because we care about what they're doing sexually outside of how it affects black men out in the real. Not even that she's with the white race man, outside of the fact that to maintain that situation, there's a need from some of these people or a feeling that to maintain that situation, they have to insult and degrade the image of black men. That's why it matters. That's why it matters. Right? So we have these women, and many of them seem younger. From the little tiny, thumbnail from what I can see from NT Desaline, many of those, in a couple of them, you can actually see their face, but for many of them, they have that like animated avatar. It's a black woman, but it's often like an animated avatar. Those women seem mainly under the age of like 40, 45. Right? So women mainly middle age and down, already telling you how they got ran through by white men, racist white men. There were a couple that Desaline covered that said, I've been through a couple of these, a few of these. You getting bent over by the dude with the Confederate flag on his wall more than once? Alexa, play the video of the young lady crying her car because the white frat bro played her, quote unquote, played her. Alexa, play the other video of the young lady saying that, she went, had some bedroom fun with a white guy. And then when she was walking out, his white friends looking at her crazy. And then yeah, that's it. Alexa, play the other video of the mixed black woman speaking about how when Trump was going through his campaign back in 2016, her white boyfriend started being real aggressive with her and started saying "you people" to her. Right? These are also situations where these women are dating racist white men, but because he didn't say the N word, and that's sometimes, she doesn't file. She broke up. Yeah, yeah, that's no place for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? These people, these women, adults, are entering into relationships, intimate relationships, right? This is not something you're forced to be in. They are knowingly and willingly, even though they caught pleas after the fact, knowingly and willingly, as black people, entering into relationships with racist white people, perfectly okay, your prerogative, and then turning around, both in person in real life, but not as much, but definitely on the internet, on the interwebs, quote unquote, critiquing black men. And as I said, I put this in the category of I want to be the black version of the European beauty standard so much that I'm willing to engage in relationship with white racist men. I found that in that category. Right? I'm willing to risk my health and my life to be in a relationship with a white man to elevate my quote unquote stock. And once again, would it matter if those women didn't turn around and try to tear down the image of black men to appeal to those same white men? I want to stress why this matters, just in case anyone is listening. Anyone prominence, note, anyone, movers and shakers, the FDs of the world, the Dr. Umar Johnsons of the world, right? The attempt to be part of this particular class or caste of elite folks. I said it before, and and Mr. Z will be vindicated on this one. Race is class in America. That doesn't mean that you can't be a black person of class in the black community. But in the attempt to elevate yourself out of your blackness, you will most likely become just a white racist chocolate dip. Exhibit A, Chrissy. Right? Look at Kim Foster. She's just a bit more disciplined. Just a smidge. Exhibit B, Kim Foster. Exhibit C, Lexis Exodus. If she is to be believed, she is a six-figure woman. If she is to be believed, she has a really good interview voice, right? Turn up the vocal fry just a smidge, right? But in that attempt to essentially be an upper middle class white woman but chocolate dipped, but anti-black. This is not about black people, namely black women, not having nice things, not being able to go to nice places. Not having certain experiences. This is not about that. What are you willing to do to have that? I present to you, even engage in relationship or situationship with the racist white man. And pray to God, cross fingers, that he doesn't show a certain action in public or say something in public or say something untoward to someone you care about. Right? And Diaspora L says, there is a real estate investor on YouTube for some years, actually both pretty good at it looking. Pretty good looking. Come to find out she has a second swirler channel. Wow. You want me to say it again for you, Diaspora L? The internet will expose us all. Right? The internet will expose us all. I said what I said. Right? The internet will expose us all, and there you go. So she's investor by day and swirler. Investor by day, divester by night. But right? The dad jokes. The dad jokes. Actually, that was actually kind of funny. Investor by day, divester by night. Right? Dr. Thunder said, the rich is only a pre-qualification for black men. White men can be broke. Apparently. I said it, the black tax. Black men are being charged with the black tax. Afro National said, investor AM, divestor PM. And what's important here, look, black men, you're not lacking. I want to be very clear. Black men, you are not lacking. This idea that you should be like, there's, obviously aspiration is nothing wrong with aspiration. There's nothing wrong with aspiration. There's nothing wrong with working hard. But let's be very clear. We're dealing with a sick society, and the way the sick society has affected black women and women writ large, but black women, because that's what we care about, is it's made them really look at the station of white women and covet so much that has poisoned them. It's poisoned many of them. So they're demanding that you do whatever you can possible to put them in that position. And so these particular women are incensed with both white men and black men. They don't really show it to white men, but it's white men and black men because they want Miss Ann's position. And I am not about black men breaking themselves as a group for black women's inferiority complex that they think can only be quelched by hyper consumerism and materialism, that they think can be quelched once they finally get on the pedestal and kick Miss Ann in the face, kick Becky in the face, knock her off the pedestal, and take the pedestal. That insatiable inferiority complex that they demand that black men fix. Right? I am there. We are finally having them say, slowly but surely, it's not about black men being dusty. It's about black men not being rich or white. That, notice they never say anything about average. Chrissy is finally starting to admit, y'all in these 50-50 relationships. Right? Chrissy is admitting y'all are in those 50-50 relationships, mocking 50-50 relationships. Meanwhile, the median household income in America is like $70,000 a year. The top third household income in America is $100,000 a year. That's the top third. I just watched a Breaking Point segment saying something like 44% of people buying homes under the age of 30 are being helped by mommy and daddy or grandma and grandpa. If you look up the title, it'll say 40%, but when Crystal Ball reads it, it's 44%. Being helped by mommy and daddy. Wait a minute. So if we're millennials, that's our boomer parents. What were black boomers? Oh yeah, they were dealing with the ending part of Jim Crow. Oh, will you look at that? And what about their parents? Oh, wait a minute. Sharecroppers. I used to say that's another thing I have to bring back in my lexicon. These women want black men to be astronauts in 50 years. Civil rights laws really being stricken down 50 years ago, give or take 50 years ago. I said stricken down. And yet black men as a collective are supposed to be captain of industry, take over everything with no institutional help. Well, you're a man, you're supposed to do it. Who's ever done that? Be captains of industry, not for our own sake, not even for the black family, no, for black women's ego. Oh yeah, and don't forget the fact that black men are like 6% of the US population, spread amongst 50 states, mainly the South, which is only an inch better than it was in 1965. at least on paper. Where not too long ago we had a whole police department in Alabama that had to get what shut down or some odd because they were literally planting drugs on black people for like 20 years. That's the country and that's the time we live in, and yet the Chrissies of the world, the Yannies of the world, the Paris of the world, the Lexus Exodus of the world, the Cynthia G's of the world look at that. They look at that and say, "Oh, well, y'all ain't trying," and that's why black women aren't the beauty standard. So we'll just go date the white racist while talking crap about you. And the more intelligent and educated of us will intellectualize it so it could sound good to white liberals. The rest of us will appeal to white conservatives with this weirdo, yeah, black men don't want to be husbands and, they don't want to be fathers and raise their children. Meanwhile, your biggest gripe is that once again, you're not an upper middle class white woman or a rich or elite white woman. And so you're willing to engage in relationship with white racists and then pretend like you didn't know he was a white racist after the fact. And we say relationship in quotes because once again, like the young lady told us, I would rather be in a relationship with a white racist man for 4 months than be single for 6 years. It's not a relationship. 4 months, it wasn't a relationship. Don't flatter yourself. Right? And Big Kev says pro-black hoteps and feminists will become the new jackleg preacher in the next generation. Oh boy. I don't know. It looks like they're evangelizing and what's the other one? Evangelize and proselytize. Proselytizing, there's a difference. It looked like they're already doing that. Right? And thank you for the super chat, Big Kev. Looks like they're already engaging in that, Big Kev. Yeah, no, it really does look like they're engaging in that. And Leon says, grown black men over the age of 18 make up 3%. And we're supposed to take over the world. Just to put, because if white men, with everything they've done on this planet over the past 500 years, where the pretty much premier white empire currently is the United States of America, and just about 20% of these white women are living somewhat, because really what black women want is like that top 5%, really the top one. But okay, let's be generous in the conversation, just for argument's sake. About 20-ish% of white women are living the life that black women claim that they want, give or take 20%, with everything white men have done on the planet over the past 500 years. So in other words, black women want us to pretty much do everything white men did on the planet to put about 20% of them in that position. Imagine. And so it's nothing for them to engage in these situations, end up with the white racist man, and on the other end, tell us how they didn't know. Ma'am, fine, one, if we're going to be generous. One. If we're going to be insane asylum generous, two. Right? If we're going to ignore everything in the world to be generous to you, two. But for some of you in those comments to say, "Oh, I've had this a few times," you've ran into white racist men. Huh, sorry. They've ran into you, giggity. A few times? Now, if we follow your social media history, how many times have you called black men dusties and nakers, etc., etc.? Losers and pookies? How many of these people are you subscribed to? The Chrissies and the Yannies and the Paris and the, how many of those are you subscribed to? And yet, white racist men. You've been in situations with not one, not two, but three, four, five. And so you didn't realize it not once, not twice, not thrice. I don't know why Mr. Z likes saying thrice for three. Not thrice, but maybe four and five and six times, which wouldn't even matter, except for the fact that you use those situations to justify going at black men's image. Not just on the internet, which, by the way, is the town square now, if y'all didn't realize it. Wait, you do realize it. That's why you're doing it on the internet. But you speak like this about black men at work, maybe? Maybe at church? Ugh. You speak about black men like this at school? Amongst your friends and associates? Your family? Around your children? Wait for it. Even your fully black children? Ooh, wait for it. Even your fully black son? See, what you and the white racist guy have going on doesn't matter to the world until you take it out of that bedroom. When the slave play is over, wait a minute, Z. Is the slave play the sex act, or is the slave play what she does out of the room when now she starts to spread his type of rhetoric around? Uh-oh. Or is it both? What's the slave play? Is it the 20, 30 minutes of ooh is that Oz? Or is it spreading white racist worldview around the world? So no, Chrissy, and for the rest of y'all are not above slave play. Y'all doing it. You're just not doing it in the bedroom. You're spreading white racist rhetoric about black men. You're engaging in slave play. Uh-oh. You are engaging in slave play. For all you ladies that think you're above it, oh, I would never let a white man do that. Yeah, I might like white men. Yeah, I might hate black men, but I would never. You are. You are. And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat, Nyla Vibes, as an ex-divester, had a baby by an Aryan Brotherhood when she was pregnant in her teens. She has a husband by the bum in Chicago, Taz the abusive. Taz just had 11 DV charges against black women. What was that about defending black women's image and everything like that, and how Taz used to talk to us? Huh? Uh-oh. Right. Uh-oh. Let me read this comment. Where is it? And Diaspora L says, I'm speaking about the lady with the investor channel by day and divestor by night. Diaspora L says the irony is this. On her real estate channel, she's for black people getting into real estate and positioning themselves on the market, but she has an elitist outlook though. This makes sense now due to what's the rest of it? Second channel, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you make money where you can make money, right? She learned from the racist white man. Just because you racist and you hate black people or you have an issue with black men doesn't mean you're not gonna make money off of them. As a matter of fact, that's the best way to do it, right? Yeah. So that young lady doing business with black black people, and we already know like selling black people hope and you know there's something to be said about the business. Selling black people business is a business, right? Selling black people entrepreneurship is a business, right? Selling black people hope is a business. So yeah, so if she's in the real estate, that's cool. She'll make money off of black people here and then talk crap about black people there. Yeah, I am Wolf says Z Sarge recently did a response video about nappy headed Jehovah, right? Who referred to black men as conquered. Well, I guess she's going down that road too. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta check that out. All right. But on that note, everyone, about to come to a close. Look. So yeah. So that's where we are now, huh? And yes, this is 2 weeks in the making. Once again, shout out to NT Desaline. Link is in the description. Um, so y'all could check out his channel. Fellow Haitian brother. And him going through the comments for the video that we spoke about a couple weeks ago of the young lady speaking about dating these white men and why are they so damn anti-black, or how do they think they can date black women and be anti-black? So for that young lady, maybe she was being genuine. If we're being generous, maybe she was being genuine. Maybe, possibly, probably not, but still, you never know. But her comments, though, oh boy. Especially from the women that said, I done had this happen multiple times, a few times, a couple times. Oh boy. Right? Not once, not twice, thrice, four times, five times. Ending note. Um, this is why the confirmation is important. So now you know that black men, you're not making up, you're not exaggerating. Right? This is not a figure of imagination. Yes, there are black women who are knowingly and willingly dating anti-black, white supremacist, racist, skinheads, alt-right white men, etc., neo-Nazis, etc., knowingly and willingly, Some of them stay quiet about it, and others don't. Right? It's in the link the LED International. The link is in the description. So that's why we cover this, and there will be others. There will be others. It's bound to happen, especially as we have this campaign from swillers and divestors, right? What did Chrissy say? What did Chrissy say about Princella? What about those of us that don't want to be in relationships with women? Y'all will do anything but just get out. Well, Chrissy, obviously you don't know Princella's story. She did date out. Well, there you go. Mr. Z, correct again. They go from black men to non-black men to same-sex loving relationships. Or they end up like Chrissy. Year after year after year being what? Polyamorous, polygynous, and still not in a relationship with a white man, a black man, or a Latino man, or no man. They're lamenting being in their luxury apartment by themselves. Yeah, not looking good. Oh, wait, there's another one. Yanny, luxury apartment, BMW, earning six figures, railing on the internet. What's the incentive? I want to be a kept woman that's kept. What's the incentive? Right? I guess I'm over the wall now that I'm 31. Oh, boy. You're not over the wall, Yanni. You could always get a middle-aged white man that's balding with a stomach. Or you could try really, 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 really hard to get you one of those middle-aged Nigerian brothers that's just going to blow his money on you. But I figure, with that type of attitude, maybe not. Right? Dear Yanni, it's not your look. If you're anything like how you are on your channel, oof, yeah. I'm a man eater. Yawn. Right? I guess what I want. Yawn. You might get the material things you want, but you want a man. Stop pretending. You don't got one yet. Maybe because you're an asshole. You ever thought about it? There's that part. So, on that note, everyone, we will pause right here. Right? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other black manager content, other non-manager content, for the love of God, so y'all don't sound like these people out here dating white racists so that they can hopefully have a comp. Ugh. Right? So, yeah. William says, who's Yanni? Real talk with Yanni. Real talk with Yanni. Trail, where you at? I'm surprised trailing pop up out of nowhere with the chin comments. Trail be killing me. Right? Exactly. Happy Labor Day, everyone. That thing that you do to earn money, um, you know, because you're not a baller, you know, and your ancestors weren't the ones that like raped and pillaged and labor, the thing like most Americans do. That if you let these divestors talk like white men ain't working, or wait, better yet, white women are the ones that's not working, right? Even though, like 75% of mothers in America work, that part. So Charles said, turning my ribs and roast. All right, everyone. We'll pause right there. Truly, once again, love, peace, and chicken grease. Um, y'all have a great, great rest of y'all day. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out.